Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. When your crew heads off to deal with the goblins, you all come face to face with the devil Karlach that Will was hunting. She looks about as big and scary as he claimed, but as soon as she starts talking, you realize that she's not nearly as bad as what he said she was, and he's not the only person who's hunting her. She had seen you on the Mind Flayer ship, which makes things a little easier since she's been injected with one of your brain bugs too, and that lets your minds link, and you get to see just how she ended up where she is. You see Karlach fighting in a very unpleasant world as a frontline soldier in the Blood War, but she wasn't fighting for either side like Will thought. She was trying to escape the war altogether. She's pretty sure she can convince the man that she's not who he thinks she is, if he stops trying to stab her for long enough for her to talk. Since he's at your camp at that moment, she may get her chance, but first she has another small problem she needs sorted out. She was a very good fighter, so Zariel, the archdevil that she was working for, isn't all that keen on letting her get away. She's been sending a lot of people after her to bring her back to Avernus, and a few of them are nearby, so she wouldn't mind having your help in putting them down. After that, she'll join you on your quest to get the bugs out of your heads. Since having a flaming tiefling warrior on your side has no real downsides in a world where lots of things want to kill you, you all take care of the people who were hunting her before heading back to your camp to get the inevitable confrontation with Will out of the way. The man is very determined to complete his mission to kill Karlach, but he's not above seeing reason, especially when the tadpole in her head links with his and shows him that she wasn't sent to the Sword Coast by the demons, and she's not planning on hurting anyone, except for the people who deserve it. Now that he knows that, he can't bring himself to kill her, which is good for Karlach, but not so much for him since he'll have to answer to the one who gave him the mission, and he knows that she won't be happy about him going against her orders. He's not wrong. His patron shows up when he refuses to do the deed, and she's not exactly what you'd expect when you take in the fact that Will comes off as the do-gooder Boy Scout type. His patron is a demon named Mazora who Karlach knows very well, and is not all that fond of. Will signed a contract that binds him to the woman in exchange for power, but part of the deal was that he'd only hunt monsters. Since Karlach's not a monster, he technically shouldn't have to kill her, but anyone who's ever heard of deals with demons know that you should always read the fine print because there's always a loophole in there. Will's contract says that he'll only be ordered to kill demons, heartless creatures, and soulless ones. Karlach's heart got replaced with an infernal engine, which makes her heartless according to the contract. So since Will broke it, Mazora punishes him by mutating him into a weird half-demon creature. What makes this so bad for him is not only is he still bound by the rest of the terms of the contract, but not even Mazora can undo the spell that she put on him. So even if he gets out of his contract, he'll always have demon horns. It's gonna make it real hard for people to trust him when he swoops in to save the day. But since it can't be changed, he has to deal with it. Plus he got off easy because Mazora could have just taken his soul for what he did. Either way, there's nothing to be done about it now, so you all head off to the goblin camp, only to be stopped by a weird man named Raphael. He proves to be more than a man shortly after he shows up by snapping his fingers and taking you all to his home where he turns into a very dangerous looking devil. He says that he can remove the bugs from your heads, and he may very well have the power to do exactly what he says, but after seeing how Will's deal with Mazora is going for him, it's very easy to reject the man's offer. He's not upset. In fact, he expected you to turn him down this time, but since you likely won't find another way to free yourselves, he knows you'll be willing to deal with him eventually. But for now, he sends you back so you can get back to your mission to hunt for Halsin. Apparently, a lot of things want to stop you from tracking down the druid, because while you're sleeping, you wake up to a Astarion trying to bite you. Turns out he's a vampire, which was pretty obvious aside from the fact that he's been walking around in the sunlight like a regular person. That's a side effect of the bug in his head, because under normal circumstances he would be very crispy by now. Normally he only eats animals, but with all of the fighting he's been doing, he needs something a little more filling. He would have told you, but he couldn't be 100% sure you wouldn't have just stabbed him. Honestly, getting caught in the act of trying to bite you was a much better way to die. But once he promises not to try to nibble on anyone else in the camp, you all finally get back to your hunt for the druid, and what is hopefully a cure for your very unpleasant condition. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Donate to the channel if you can, and I'll see you all next time.